Galloway's support through sight loss. Galloway's Get Active presents Astley Park, Chorley. Hi guys, James here from Galloway's. Today I'm outside the Galloway's at Chorley. It's an easy place to get to via bus, public transport. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a walk through Astley Park. So we'll walk out past the Sensory Garden, have a look round the outside of the hall and then through the woodland as well. So bear with me and I'll catch up with you all when we get to the park. Okay, so just round the corner from the office there's a car park, and that brings you in through an entrance into Astley Park. It's a nice tarmac path with trees on both sides. The cenotaph is on your right, and coming up on your left there's a small garden with a statue, life-size statue of a World War I soldier. Okay, it's just as we come into the park, we've got a small garden area with a gravel path leading up to looks like it's a wood carving of a soldier stood at attention. It's probably for the memorial for the First World War. Really nicely carved out of a tree stump. Well, it looks like a life-size carving. He's holding his rifle as he stood at attention. His rifle's down by his side, and all the different packs around his body with ammunition packs and things like that, and he's wearing the helmet. Really nicely carved. You see all the creases in his uniform, in his hands and face. Leaving the statue behind, we carry on following the path down the hill, through the trees, towards the Sensory Garden. Now there's a drop away, a bit of a valley, just a small valley with loads of trees on the other side, and there's two paths come together. There's people walking down the bottom path. So just as we head towards the bottom of the slope, we come to the Sensory Garden, where there's a plaque on the left hand side which tells us about the history of the Sensory Garden. On the right hand side there's a board that is about senses and planting. Gives you some ideas about planting for senses. So let's go and have a look at the Sensory Garden. Now in the Sensory Garden there's some ferns and all sorts of lovely smelling and brightly coloured and textured plants. It's a bright pink tulip type flower. There's some signs in the garden that tells you what the plants are, and it's also in braille underneath as well. There's a nice bench in the middle of the Sensory Garden. Because it had just rained as well, you had all sorts of smells going on. You got the damp earth, the scent of the flowers. A lovely shrub in front that's sort of a deep reddy pink colour. Stands out amongst the green. Right, so what we've got at one of the either the entrance or the exit of the Sensory Garden is there's a stone sculpture of a mole. You can see he's got some big claws, his mouth and a big nose. Looks like a mole anyway, I'm guessing that's what it is. Very tactile sculpture. So leaving the Sensory Garden behind, we carry on following the path down the slope until it meets the main track that runs through the park. Hey. There's people walking dogs coming up either way. Now on the main path, walking up a hill, there's a wooden fence on the left hand side, and down by the bottom you can hear a waterfall, which we show more of towards the end of the video. So, revealing shot here shows the lake with a tulip-shaped fountain, and in the background you've got Astley Hall as the backdrop, looking over the pond with the waterfall. Now we've got a red and white flower bed in front of Astley Hall. Some people walking in front, and right next to the hall are some bright orange flowers. We're at the front of Astley Hall now, walking round towards the side. We've got the bright orange flowers in front of the hall. Now showing some close-up of those orange flowers. Now we're following the path that will eventually goes all the way around the back of Astley Hall. It's a gravel path. Side shot of some purple roseberry willow herb. There's a board here that tells you about the Evader's Garden, which we're about to go into now. And the Evader's Garden is towards the back of Astley Hall. Walking through a gate in the wall. You come out, there's a big grass square with gravel paths walking round it. In the far corner there's a cafe. There's some seating all along the edges of the paths. Now we're showing a shot through, it's like a country farmyard garden. There's an orchard with some apples and all sorts of different vegetables and herbs and things, and lots of apple trees with different carts and things. Now we've got another carving of a World War I soldier in his uniform, sat on a bench with his back to the square of grass. And again, it's a life-size carving. This time he's not got a helmet, he's got more of a peak cap, more like an officer's type cap. Very peaceful. We leave the statue of the World War I soldier behind. There's a shot of the square of grass. We walk across a courtyard where there's a cafe to your right hand side, and out of the courtyard you've got Astley Hall on the left, and as we leave the courtyard we go straight on. We're now walking on a path that will take us down towards Southport Road entrance. We've got all sorts of different coloured trees, greens, reds, burgundies, yellows. Now walking down the path towards a moss-covered stone wall and bridge over the little brook. Video showing this popping up over the wall to have a look down at the waterfalls. Just a small trickle of the waterfall. More of a man-made cascade, and same on the other side of the bridge as well, with a little pool with the trees framing it. We then turn off the main track through the woodland and we start the walk through the woodland track. Now this could be a little bit muddy in places. There's a sign here for the Lost Fountain. And then there's an old dried up stone fountain in a bit of a sunken garden. Now walking along the woodland path, so you've got all the different shades of greens. It's a slightly muddy path. There's a bridge that we're going to go over, up a few steps. So be careful not to trip over the steps or any of the tree roots if you're doing this walk. There was a lovely earthy smell. We've now got a moss-covered tree that has fallen down. Again, walking through the woodland, beautiful shades of green, and there's a lovely smell of the wet earth just after the rain shower that we'd had. So keep following the path, up some steps, and across a few different bridges. And across another little wooden footbridge. You can hear the birds singing in the distance. Another view of the river, a lovely trickle of water coming down the river. Now it's like a man-made cascading waterfall. It's just a bit higher up than the previous one. It's all wet stone covered with moss and ferns. Water's pouring off from the top. Okay guys, well that's the walk through Astley Park in the woodland. I hope you've enjoyed it. All I need to do now is just follow the path back out and back to the office and then catch a bus to go home and edit this video for you guys. So if you want to come along on this walk, we'll probably be doing this in another week or two. It's an easy walk. It's around about 2.5 miles, maybe 3 tops. You've seen the woodland, the sensory garden, the statues that are in some of the statues that are in the parkland, and Astley Hall as well. So if you're interested in coming along, just give me a call. The number is 01772 744 148, and we'll do our best to make it an enjoyable walk for you. So all that's left for me to say is stay safe, follow the guidelines, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now. For more information on this walk, please call us on 01772 744 148. If you'd like to know more about the walk or any of the other walks we do, or the Get Active programme in general, then just give me a call. Galloway's, support through sight loss.